Hello and welcome to Love Through It. I am Lianna Nielsen.
And I'm Claire Burns.
And
We are people and hosts and co-hosts of Love Through It. That's it.
yes,
That's our winning introduction.
it is. It is. To be honest, that's our second attempt. But
Yeah,
you
it
guys don't
is.
know that. I didn't even need to tell you, but you know what? We love to share what's going on behind the
We
curtain.
really do. Honesty, transparency. This is who we are.
It
This is who
is.
we are.
It is. Actually, that's so funny. Right off the bat, that makes me think of something.
Do tell.
Um, I I was saying this to you, but then we're like, we should just start recording.
Yeah.
Every week after we do this, which is so funny because we did this for a year and a half
Yeah.
with like other people and arguably like
Yeah.
intimidating experts, right?
Absolutely.
But every week now, this is the third week.
Right.
I have this whole roller coaster of like, what the hell am I doing? And like, why and what should I be talking about? And what is this? And it's so interesting because in one of the iterations of this spiral, I was really like
Yes.
sitting with why. And I feel like between the journey that I've been on of transformation for the past 2 years,
Yes.
and if you're just joining us, go back 2 episodes. It's a
Sure. Yes,
it's a whole fun,
absolutely. Catch
it's a whole
up.
fun episode. But also, I think the time we're living in, there is transparency is vital. Like, I think we all
Yes.
sense and feel the truth
Yeah.
on a level that we did not. And
Right.
I don't know if it is the what feels like this is a really pivotal time and an expansion of human consciousness and the evolution of everyone moving forward.
Yes.
And if you're
Yes.
aware of that or not, could be that. But I think yes, and also we've been watching like reality TV, social media. Everyone's plugged into watching something all of the time. And
Yes.
it's why I think TikTok started to do so well after Instagram started to get a little
Mm,
bit old news because all of a sudden everyone's being a lot more authentic. Like we can all tell when we're being lied to, right?
I know. Well, and now what is truth? Right?
Exactly.
Like truth
Exactly.
is almost rarer to come by in
Right.
this way.
Right.
So yeah.
And the thing that was interesting to me, and the reason we stopped the podcast a year and a half ago, is that I feel like we both are people who, especially in these kinds of spaces, are quite open. But
Yes.
there's always like, I feel like a bit of a veneer
Of course.
between you and how you show up, right?
Right. Right.
And as things have changed, I feel like that for me has gotten thinner. And what happened over the past couple of years, sort of in this little bubble, is like I grew into this whole other version of myself, but the part of me that knows how to perform and podcast and speak and do interviews, that's the old version of me. And I think that every week I have this sort of freak out because I'm like, but this is like,
Right.
the new legs or like the training wheels are coming off. And like,
Right.
this is such a private part of me, but, or how I live my life, what I believe, how I spend my time
Yeah.
is quote unquote a bit different or weird. And all of this feels a little scary.
Well, and you still have a little, yeah, because this is something, it's big. It's previously, it would have been classified in your world as woo woo, and there would have been a little bit of judgment that you
Yeah.
gave it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so it feels a little weird for you, for sure.
And I think I know part of the reason we stopped was there's a lot going on. I was feeling like my reality started to change so drastically that when I started, I had this whole idea of like, oh, I'm this health coach. I've had all these experiences. These are things that I believe that I
Yeah.
teach people and I watch them transform their lives.
Yeah.
And these are things that work for me. And in this moment, all of that stuff started to change and it didn't really work for me anymore.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everything was so different. And I don't even know what I believe in. What reality got very bendy because
Mhm.
all of a sudden I'm more sensitive, and all of these things that you like see in scary movies are like, like are the things of fiction start happening.
Right.
And I just didn't come from that world. So I was like, this is totally crazy. But the bigger conversation, and also I think the other reason I'm always so hesitant every week is that there's so much noise out there.
Boy, oh boy.
And
Our minds and our bodies are not built for this much noise.
no, it's so, everyone has a podcast. Like having a podcast is embarrassing at this point.
It's so funny because it is, but it's like, why the fuck not?
Well, exactly.
It's kind of like when our Lord and Savior, Amy Poehler, just kidding.
Right?
I say that for me.
I'm with you. She's the best.
We love her. But when she started hers, she was like, listen, every dude I know has one. Why won't I have one? And hers is like going crazy through the charts because she just wants to have conversations with people she likes.
Yeah.
And people love it, crave it because
it's so good.
Because it's so good. And honest, authentic.
Yes.
Like, sure, maybe certain guests that she's not as close with, she'll be a little more, but that's fine.
No, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. It's funny. I love podcasts. That's also why we're doing this.
I love it too because I'm not around people a ton. So I like to feel like I'm engaged. I like having these, like one of my favorite podcasts is about the Bravo world, right? Mm-hmm, because I love a reality show, Bitch Sesh. And because I feel, and I got into it in the pandemic because I felt like I was hanging out with girlfriends talking about like Real Housewives, I needed that. And it's, some would say pointless, but you know what? I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I feel connection on some level. So
absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of too many podcasts.
Yes.
Have you watched Manosphere on Netflix?
No, I haven't watched it yet, and I'm nervous too because I feel like I'm going to get so angry.
I felt the same way, and I was nervous too. And then I kept seeing, like, a friend was like, "I think we should, like, we're obligated, like, we should know what's going on." Okay. And then I was seeing all this stuff on Instagram, so I watched it, and it's very you get angry.
It's very upsetting.
It's like it's upsetting, but I thought the interviewer,
Louis Theroux.
Yes, Louis Theroux. He does a good job of kind of showing these vulnerable moments where you just feel bad for the, like, not like, it's just sort of like,
it's not sympathy, but it's like, you don't know any better.
This is so sad for you and so embarrassing for you.
Right. Okay.
And like, you can see their fragility. Like, there's so much like masculine and like, but at the same, and so much like hate, so much hate, so much judgment, so much like misinformation, but they seem like these fragile, delicate, hurt little boys, which, like, you see pieces of that too. And it just, like, there are parts of it that were so infuriating, but when you zoom out and you think about, like, the craziness of where we are right now, it was like, it actually didn't feel grosser than, like, some of the wellness grifting that happens where people, like, do you follow that Instagram, the account Healing from Healing?
I don't think so.
I recommend it. It's very funny.
Okay.
But then every once in a while, someone's saying something that I, like, believe in. And I'm like, oh no, we've gone too far.
Oh no, what have I done?
And honestly, like, there were moments from the Manosphere, well, you need to watch it and then we can talk more properly about it. But there were moments from the documentary where, like, you can also see why, like, men get sort of, like, wrapped up in this because they're talking about, like, the Matrix and, like, how to live outside, like, not have to work for the man. And, to some degree, I get that. Like, I think that we, especially in the U.S., there's been, like, such intense societal programming that people don't think for themselves often, and people just assume they have to do the thing that everyone else is doing. And it is very disempowering, right? There are parts
absolutely.
Where you see that, like, these guys are empowering these other men who, like, don't have a lot. and don't maybe, it seems like a lot of guys like didn't have good father figures.
Of course not.
So
it's the generational just happening over and over. Well, there's also like a little bit of the dismantling of capitalism and patriarchy, but in the way that the patriarchy, I guess more, but the way that that sect, and I'm assuming, I haven't seen it, but just from what I've witnessed elsewhere, like the way that they're dismantling it becomes more isolated and egocentric versus the other side of it, which I feel like I'm leaning more towards, which is almost more socialism, right? Like, instead of this, the top down, the like this capitalist, whatever, we work to help each other. But it's more of a going out on an island on their own at this point. But
yeah, it was very bizarre, but it comes back to the idea of like, it just, I think as an actor, right? Like you get, so much of acting training is like finding empathy for the characters you're playing.
Yep.
And that's how you make a villain good, right? Like every time you play kind of like a not so noble character, you're trying to find the motivation. So I feel like that was actually such a gift. And so I watch these things and I'm like, where does this come from? How do I have like empathy? Where is this person's humanity, right? And it's so well, and then you see the cracks in the foundation, and no one had a good upbringing, and like a lot of the normal stuff that makes people upset and angry, or their moms weren't that great, so great. Oh, surprised they don't like women, that kind of stuff.
Because they were all forced into this whole into this mold of like, you must be married, you must have kids, you must whatever. No one got to live their own life.
And then all of a sudden, like, look at what's happening to society, especially in the U.S. Like, you can't just like go to college, get a job, afford a house, afford a family, right? And like men were supposed to do that. So all of a sudden, it's so much harder to be a man. They have to be mad at someone. I guess it's
true.
Like,
honestly,
that's
true.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
But I just started thinking about more and more how bizarre it is that like these people, and like obviously there are like millions of people bought into it, right? Millions of mostly men, but like bought into this whole thing where it's like they authentically believe this completely different reality.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. And I think there's something really creepy about what's happening, or what has happened with like social media and like the landscape of like, okay, you don't know what to believe. Most news is entertainment. Most people are like siloed into, you only see what you like. The
algorithms
is feeding you
that way.
Right. It's feeding you a world that you believe in, right? And you're not even seeing other people's, like the other lanes. And I think it's really fascinating. It just started to make me think about like there are millions of different realities, but it's so bizarre because so many of these people have this like true belief that this is how it is.
Yeah. Like and legit. They can't comprehend a different reality.
No. Like, and it's like,
just like I can't comprehend that. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like one guy was saying like, he literally believes there's like some satanic cult that's controlling the entire world.
Buddy.
And it's so weird. And then to come back to kind of what I was saying earlier and why it's so funny to like come back on here again and like restart this whole thing is the reality I was living in when we started this podcast is gone and I live in a totally different one. Right. And it's so interesting to me. And this is why travel is good. This is why relationships are good. This is why
meeting going people.
Having different experiences, going to school is good, but it's almost overwhelming and mind-boggling because like if you start to go down the rabbit hole and it's your brain breaks because you're like, wait, what's true and real?
Well, we're continually questioning what's real. Like when you read a news quote unquote headline, we have to question if it's real.
Right.
all the time.
Right. Or now it's like when you see something with your own eyes, you have to question.
A photo, a video. It's like, is that AI? Was that weird? Is that person holding? Wait, that person has a fifth arm. Like, that's not right.
Like, there are extra fingers. Are they really drinking that? Is that a real background?
Literally everything is questioned.
So you like really don't know what to believe, which is, I guess, why this whole time all I've done is help people connect to like what's real and true for them.
Yeah.
And I think a really beautiful way to think about it is like, okay, if the thing that is real and true for you and the thing that you feel like you're meant to do that feels so true for you is filtered, like we said in the first episode, like through your heart and through a lens of love, and it's not hurting you or people around you, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. It is true. It is true. I'm having a thought. I'm like,
yeah.
Gosh, I just feel like we go in circles so often now because it's like, I feel we live in constant contradictions.
Yeah.
Because everything, even truth is a contradiction. But I think the phrase of both things can be true or multiple things can be true at once is something that I'm not thinking of anything specific, but just like that concept of, which I wish I knew more growing up because I feel like everything was so black and white growing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's another thought.
Did you go? I'm going to take a hard left.
Yeah, hard left.
Week,
let's go.
Last week, we had an amazing amount of synchronicities.
Yes, we did.
When you were getting dressed, did you think about it?
I did. And then I got stressed out and I was like, just wear what you want to wear.
I know.
I know.
Yeah. I changed shirts and I was like, why am I'm not trying to match her.
But I feel like we're in black and white. We're in a black and white story.
And mine's just white. And I almost wore this like darker blackish thing. So we could have been there. But what does your t-shirt say?
So this is a t-shirt, Tiny Pony Tavern. It is an adorable like gay bar that's in Yucca Valley, which is outside of Joshua Tree.
Amazing.
Yeah, I went there. So my dear friend, we'll come back to what you're just about to ask me. Okay. My dear friend came out in January. She was starting a new job. And so she was like, I want to have a little respite before that began. So she came out and we drove out to Joshua Tree, which I had not been to before.
It's so amazing, isn't it?
So amazing. Like
it's like being on Mars or something.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But there's something truly healing about the desert. Like I've been to Palm Springs before, which I'm drawn to Palm Springs as well. Just that area in general. For those who don't know, it's like 30 minutes apart, less than 30 miles, but whatever. They're in that direction.
What is your human design environment? Do you know?
Thank you for asking.
I might have it. Okay, continue. Carry on.
Well, anywho, so Megan and I went out and stayed in just this perfect little house that was off of gravel road, which is 80% of the roads out there. Let's be honest. But it was just like there was a hammock and just sitting in the sun. Oh, it was gorgeous. But anyhow, we explored. It's very gay friendly out there. Mm-hmm. I mean, Palm Springs is kind of known for being gay friendly, but I feel, and I am not necessarily educated on this, but from the limited amount of information I have, I feel like Palm Springs is very gay male oriented. And then if you go a little bit further into Yucca Valley and Joshua Tree area, it's more female queer.
I did not know this, guys.
Again,
fun facts.
Again, I'm making this assumption. It's similar to like East Coast versus West Coast. Like East Coast is definitely more like male gay centric, really? And West Coast is more female gay.
Oh.
Yeah. Because, dare I say, and these are stereotypes, but again, things I'm finding out, Palm Springs, East Coast, more of a party culture.
Right.
Versus the fucking middle of nowhere desert or like chill. You know what I mean? Which is where the ladies like to go and nest and and make their pottery.
One of my really good friends in college came out and was getting into gay culture. And I, at the time, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I learned, and I don't know if it's still the case, but both DC and Philly were more female-oriented gay cities versus New York and San Francisco were gay guys.
Yeah. But San Francisco has a lot of gay women too, but it is definitely more male than Portland.
Oh, right.
And LA. LA has both too, but there's more, I think, gay women in LA than there are in New York City proper.
Oh, I thought you were going to say than men.
No. Not necessarily. I think than in New York City proper, just because of the energy level.
Women just like to chill out.
Chill. Yeah. I know more sober queer women.
Well, that's the interesting thing about moving to LA. Everyone's sober. Or sober curious, or California sober.
California sober for sure.
Everyone is in some sort of AA program, which I found really fascinating too. I knew someone who would go to her whole life is going to 5 different AA lives, all the things.
Yeah.
And I was this feels like its own kind of addiction.
Right? No, well, that's its own thing. But I do have a number of friends who are just not addiction, they're just sober because they choose to be. And honestly, I barely drink anymore.
Yeah.
And there's also because driving. Right. Which I know the rest of the country does drive, but especially if you go from New York to LA, it's oh, well, no, I'm not going to start drinking and driving.
No.
And there's only so much money I want to spend on Ubers and all of that.
Of course.
It's just not worth it.
Well, and then culturally,
I think everyone's not drinking as much in general. Yeah. And also as you age, the way you metabolize alcohol changes dramatically.
It's not as fun. It's not as fun.
It really it's truly more poison than ever as women get older. Because our hormones change and all of that. Yeah.
Pause as we're in this moment.
Yeah.
You are Wet Kitchens, which kind of makes no sense why you'd like the desert. But then I looked at your digestion, which is hot food. So basically, you're internally cold. And for those who are listening, I'm using Jenna Zoe's app, which I actually really like. It's called Align. If you are into human design. And human design is like an energy typing system that changed my life. It's actually arguably for Claire as well.
Absolutely.
If you find out, if you are a non-energy type, it's so liberating and empowering because
oh my God, it's so liberating.
It just shows you that you are not there's nothing wrong with you.
You're not lazy.
Yes.
You just have to manage your energies different than everyone. Because again, the more we're learning now, because we're learning or unlearning at this point, we don't all have the same energy level where we get up, we work hard for 8 hours, and then we are done for the day. That's not how I function. I can be a good worker, but I'm not in the hours confined by someone else.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, and it's so interesting too to go down that rabbit hole because society is sort of the way it is because about 70, I think 3 or something % of society does have that consistent energy.
Yeah.
So culture is based on that. And then if you're that 30% that's not there, it's sort of hey, how
are you supposed to?
What's wrong with you? Why are you so tired? Or for me, it's why are you so sensitive to everything?
So sensitive.
But anyway.
So lazy, whatever.
So lazy. But also you have a cool body temperature, so warming foods are optimal for you as they help bring balance and the right amount of stimulation to rev up your system. So the brain works the same way, right? So from an energetic perspective, it's also good to practice being more warm and creating warmth literally and figuratively around you. So turn the stove or the heating on in your home, make it nice and cozy. So of course you like the desert.
There we go.
Hot,
that makes sense.
dry?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
yes.
do. Yes, I
and
do.
it aids your digestion. When you're in a hot place, you're going to digest better.
Interesting.
And think better. When you're warm, you can't get too cold.
I certainly can't think well if I'm cold.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I'm the opposite.
I do? Really?
If I'm hot, I'm cold thirst. So like when things are too hot, or if I get too hot, my brain malfunctions and I become like a toddler. I'm like, oh, it's hot too. I can't.
Listen, I will get sleepy. I will get sleepy in the heat, but
right.
I do. There's a perfect little level in there.
That's
yes, like,
of course.
Like it just makes me happy. I don't understand the wet kitchen.
Oh, okay. We'll just take a full left turn. This will be a fun one to follow.
Full left turn. I don't understand. I feel like human design I'm obsessed with, and
yes.
And when I say obsessed, I'm obsessed with understanding the very basic levels of it and sharing with others. There is so much to it that I don't know, even about my own.
Right.
Even about my own, including wet kitchens.
Right. Well, this is why I come back to it every time. Like it's so crazy. So my partner Lianna and I bought a house last summer. And we looked for months. We probably looked at 50 houses. We did the whole thing. We made a list. What do I want? What do you want? What do we want to build? Like create together? Yeah. Like what do we want? And we had a very specific idea that was involved like being near the forest and the mountains.
Yes.
It was so crazy. We looked and looked and looked. It was my birthday last year. We went away to this incredible resort called the Octent in the Douro Valley. If you're ever in the north of Portugal, like totally worth it. So beautiful. Okay. And it was like modern, but like very integrated with nature and
love.
Sort of this specific kind of architecture built into sort of the side of the hill. And we're like, oh my God, we want to feel like this. This is it. We went back. We'd been looking for 2 months. We went back. We had sort of recreated our list. Can I tell you, the next house we looked at was exactly the manifestation that we wanted to create from the hotel.
Wow.
We hated it.
Exactly. Wait, I remember when you went. Yes, I remember
that. We hated it. And it's so funny. This is why I promise you think you know what you want, and whoever's in charge has something way better for you. So anyway, we give up. We decide after like 4 months of this, we give up. We've seen everything to see. We don't like anything. We're just like, okay, maybe we'll just keep renting. Who cares? But basically we both were getting sick of the energy. Like it felt too intense. And with everything that had gone on with my body last year, I kept getting other practitioners telling me, like, you need to be able to walk in grass and be closer to nature. Like, your body's, like, going through a lot. And I felt so poorly and all this weird stuff was happening that I was like, okay, I will listen. Like, let's go find somewhere else to live. So anyway, we give up. And this is also how I think you manifest things really quickly. As soon as you decide you don't want something, like you don't need it, like it can take forever. It literally shows up. So I remember it was a Sunday. We have a powwow. We're like, we're going to quit. We had been using 2 different real estate agents and they were so nice. And we had like 4 more listings to see. And we're like, you know what? We're going to go. We're going to thank them. We'll like bring a bottle of wine, like apologize. Like, I don't know. We felt bad. And it was like the second day, the second realtor, the 4th house. We didn't know where we were. We had no idea. We walk in and the house just like wouldn't let us leave. It was so bizarre. And it was not like, it didn't have like, Lou really wanted a bathtub. There was no bathtub. Like,
right. It's not every single thing on your list, but the energy on.
It was so funny, right? It was a lot of the things, but it definitely wasn't even like, I don't know, like 90%, but we thought we were like so certain. And then of course it's just how it felt. It was the energy of it. So we're very confused. We don't understand. And our realtor's like, go walk around the neighborhood because like it's gonna, you'll fall in love with it even more.
Yeah.
So we walk around and it's on the side of this valley. So we have some cool views. You can walk to the ocean, which we just did not think that was not in anyone's wildest dreams. So like we can walk.
Amazing. Mm-hmm.
And it's this cute little funky Portuguese neighborhood that's quiet, but has like some markets and like there's a little bit of commerce so that you can go to a coffee shop and they can walk right to the beach and there are restaurants there. So it doesn't feel like I feel allergic to the suburbs. That was like not something that was on my bingo card. No. So I was very worried about moving out of Lisbon. But anyway, so we go and we're both like flabbergasted would be the word, I think.
I love that word.
And we're like, wait, this is not what we wanted at all. This was not on the list. It's not near a forest, but it is near the ocean. Like, it just, all these things. And I look around and I start laughing. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. This is our house location is a combination of both of our human design environments.
Okay, and what are your environments?
Mine's wide valleys, which means like literally, like we're literally on the side of a valley, so overlooking a valley. But Obsessed. It also means like you need to be walking distance from like commerce or something. Like there's got to be energy flowing through the valley. And it's interesting. Yeah. It's like you like to be near places that have that. It's almost like you need a Cheers. Like you need people, like you need to have a local coffee shop. Yes. And there needs to be something walking distance. And there also needs to be pleasant noises, which, oh my God, when I did a session with Lianna and Claire Jones for the first time when I was living in London, and I was like, it was the happiest I'd been. That apartment in London and West Hampstead was my happiest thing. And
which, quick side note, Lianna and Claire Jones is like a tip-top human design expert.
Yes. And she has a great book that came out last year. So if you want to know more. And also
was on the podcast before.
First time around, great interview.
Wonderful.
Anyway, I lost my mind because it was like, oh my God, the reason I love this apartment so much because it was like at the top of this little street that had all this commerce, but it was this tiny little neighborhood. But it was so crazy, Claire, because she was even like, you need to have pleasant sounds. And I was like, what do you mean? But I like lost my mind because I remember I'd wanted to move to LA forever. And then I didn't like it. It didn't resonate. And one of the reasons I didn't like it was the helicopters. I really struggled with like the noise pollution of the hell. And I don't know if maybe there was more during COVID.
Noise, but not maybe more, and also depending on where you live, if you're in general proximity of like I remember it was the worst when I was in Venice, and then I was Venice Beach, and then also I lived the longest in Los Feliz. Well, Los Feliz makes sense.
It was so helicoptery, and then because there's no insulation, I felt like I could hear my neighbors more.
Girl, can I tell you, LA, it is so, you hear your neighbors. The walls are so thin, and the windows so thin in LA. Like, I feel like it's so much louder here than New York.
It is.
So much louder.
I really struggled. And then we moved to London, and you think of London as, in my mind, I thought London would be like way more intense. And of course, we weren't like in Soho, but where we were, it was very quiet. And most of what I heard, because we were across the street from a church, were church bells and like cops on horses.
Stop it.
And it was
the
like
clip-clop of a horse.
My soul like lit up because it was like, these are like beautiful noises. Yeah. Anyway, so I lost my mind. Fast forward last summer, I just am dying laughing because here I am, wide valleys. We're literally on the side of a valley. And then Luciana's artificial shores, which there's like a couple different, I think there's like a natural shores and an artificial shores. And artificial shores is literally like you want to be where like man-made things are going into the ocean. And we live literally like 6 minutes from this thing called the Peradao, which is like this old stone walkway that goes all along the coast that has little coffee shops. And so it's like literally like there's a beach, but there's also like, it's like man-made even. Shore. And from our house, we can see like houses kind of going into the ocean. And I was like, This is so crazy. We thought we wanted this whole other thing. We spent 4 months looking for this whole other thing. And then unbeknownst to us, we didn't even take this into consideration. We find this house and it energetically just like literally won't let us leave. And this is where human design like blows my mind. Okay.
Yeah.
This is where, and then we'll go into what kitchens for you. Okay. Your environment is simply an outside energy dynamic, an essence that makes your inner essence shine. So that's for everyone. Okay. Being in a certain place brings out the best in us. According to human design, each of us has a specific environment that enables our alignment. It's not that we have to spend all of our days there, but for sharing your gifts with the world, if you ever need to get yourself healthy again or are in a place you really need to get back on track, you need to go to your environment, essentially. Honoring your environment allows the universe's streams to come and carry you rather than have. Reading out loud is so hard sometimes. I was like, what?
I was like, what just happened?
I glitched. I'm actually a robot and I glitched.
I get it. It is. Especially if you're like, all of a sudden you go off and it's like trying to get back onto it. Yeah. Makes sense.
I know. It allows the universe's stream to come and carry you rather than like you feeling you have to like push and control the reins. So it's making your life easier, essentially. I love this. It literally helps you align to life synchronicities, being in your proper environment.
Okay, something's happening right now.
Oh no.
Let me explain to you what's happening.
What's happening?
There is a series, a show that I've wanted to do for a long time.
Okay.
I mentioned it to the producers who I did the pilot with. I did a pilot nearly maybe 8 years ago now, where I was a host for, it was a cooking channel show.
Yeah.
And we traveled around and it was true magic, honestly. True magic. But anyway, so I mentioned this idea to the producers that I worked with then right before the pandemic. And they were like, wait, I love that idea. But, then everything changed. But I continually get pinged to make, just do a low budget version of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then for a hot minute there, I thought it takes place in a kitchen. So there's that.
My God.
And then there was
literally.
And then I spoke with an intuitive astrologer, not my regular Rachel, who I love. I haven't talked to her in a minute, but
is she the one that's like in South Africa or something?
No, that's a different one.
Okay, sorry.
That's Heather Ann. She's a psychic in Johannesburg. No, Rachel I've been going to for 15 plus years. But she's very busy. But anywho, this other friend in New York who is also an intuitive astrologer and was like really working out her practice and her gifts, and so I saw her a few times, and I remember her saying to me at one point, she was like, if you like, and I had not mentioned anything apropos of nothing, she was like, if you go on this like cooking host, like you'll shine quicker than if you keep going just on the acting. And I was like, okay. And then here we are.
Oh my God. Wow. So you're meant to be in the kitchen. Wait, are we going to change Claire's life in this moment?
So here's the interesting thing is that, so I found because it does take place, I have not had a kitchen that visually would work for this.
Yeah.
I had a very dear friend who I fell in love with, and then turned into a disaster, who had a kitchen, who I was like, this could be perfect. Like when I could use this. Well, obviously that went down in a ball of flames, so that didn't work. But I have been thinking recently about like, is it, and I have no money, but is it something where I look for like a place where I could rent a kitchen, essentially, for a couple days and shoot this whole thing, like, and fucking do it.
Yes, or first I was like, wait, is this the perfect opportunity for you to reconcile with this friend, and then ask for something? No. Okay.
I don't want to. I don't have anything to do with. I don't want any of my creative pursuits to have anything to do with her.
That's true. That was a sort of heartbreaking moment for us.
Yeah.
As a collective.
Correct.
But hey, friendships change and evolve. People change.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest thing about growing up, especially like female friendships. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, and love, but right? Anyhow, all of that.
But
anyway.
But this is an interesting, because I haven't really thought much of, like, sure, I've read that in my listing of human design, the kitchens. I'm like, whatever. But it's hitting today it's hitting. It's hitting.
Well, why don't we just like put it out there? You're like, okay, bring me, if I meant to do this, like show me or bring me a kitchen.
Yeah. I like that.
And truly, that's how half the podcast got back together. I'm like, if I meant to do this, bring me Claire.
Just bring it to me. Yeah.
Oh, just show me, right? Like show me an opportunity. Yeah. I always do that. Okay. Wait, let's get into specifics with you.
So sorry. Go ahead.
I just want everyone to understand like how important the environment is for us to be reminded.
Yeah.
We read about the stream. Aligning synchronicities. Sorry, I've lost my place. Oh, I love this. No apologies. This is very important. What engages your gifts, which then helps you be in your genius? So that's the location. Putting yourself in the right environment. I keep waiting for yours to start, but they're just giving so much backstory. This is a great app, by the by. Yeah. You'll notice the right things for you. Okay. Creative hubs bring out the best in you. This is now specifically for what kitchens.
Okay.
Think of a creative space where people come together to collaborate, each making their own contribution to get a finished product over the line. That's a kitchen. Whoa. This could range from an art studio to a science lab, a roundtable discussion, or to the actual kitchen in your own home. These creative hubs are an energetic match for your unique gifts because with kitchens as your environment, you come to life when you are in the presence of true collaboration, where there are things being alchemized and rearranged or transformed. Mm-hmm. Like many aspects of your chart, it's both literal and metaphorical. So spending extra time in the kitchen will actually suit you. Working at a kitchen countertop, hosting dinner parties, taking cooking classes. The next time you're at a house party, try posting up in the kitchen. See what happens. Ooh, this is interesting. Anywhere that a process of alchemy is taking place will always be good for you. You don't like to feel isolated, nor is it good for your system, Claire Burns.
I know, as I stay isolated all the time.
You got to get yourself in a collaborative. Wow, that's so interesting. This also makes sense why you don't want to do your podcast by yourself. Because
I know I don't do well. I don't do things by myself well.
A deep sense of collaboration makes your brain come fully online. So you need to be collaborating with others.
Yeah.
Of course, it's important for you to rest as you're a projector. Yes, but when you feel uninspired or disconnected from your gifts, you want to go to a kitchen or a creative hub.
Interesting.
When you're feeling uninspired or disconnected, your energy might contract or shut down. If that happens, it's not you. It's likely the environment you're in. That's so. I definitely can recognize that myself. But yeah, you can always bring yourself back to life by jumping into a creative space, even if that's just cooking yourself a beautiful meal in your own home. That's so funny.
I don't like cooking for myself. I mean, cooking for one is always kind of bleh. But I
How do you feel about humidity?
I mean, I was raised in it in Tennessee.
Well, yeah, apparently humidity is your friend. Your wet kitchens, right? Because there's the dry kitchens too.
Interesting.
It's humidity is very important to your functioning. Hotter, more humid clients will be more conducive for you. Interesting.
Well, that doesn't work
so
with
steams.
the desert.
No, but it's hot, right? What about
Yeah.
they talk about like going to a steam room or getting some sort of humidifier.
Or have
But
a swamp cooler.
What?
You know a
is
swamp
that?
cooler?
No,
My friend, I used to go out to northern Arizona a ton.
Mm-hmm.
My friend back in the day, she worked for one of the rafting trips. So like she would pack when you would go into the Colorado River and go through the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She would pack the big things. Yeah.
I did that as like in 7th grade with my family.
Yeah.
10 out of 10, excellent experience. Would recommend.
Yeah. What's crazy is I never did it, but I did go out to northern Arizona like 10 times. So I was out there a ton. But nonetheless, they lived in trailers. Because it's a seasonal job.
Okay.
And so they all have these and they're like, they don't move, but it's a trailer park.
Right. A trailer park. Yeah.
And so they have swamp coolers, which is they have a fan and dripping water into the fan. Oh. And so it's a mister. It's essentially a mister, but that's their AC because they cannot you can't have an AC in a fucking trailer. Like, what's the point? But a swamp cooler is just making it misty.
And pardon my ignorance, is this like a real thing or is it somehow like a fan that they're making spray water? Like, are there fans that, I guess there are.
There are fans, but of course it was.
But are we talking about like rigging something? Okay.
They rigged it. They rigged it. But the apparatus as a whole was colloquially known as a swamp cooler.
Well, maybe you need one for, do you have a name for your apartment?
No.
I don't know why. Well, maybe because my mom grew up in a house with a name and would always refer to it as that. From my early 20s, I just started naming everywhere I lived.
Your homes.
Yeah. They all have had names. Like, this is Ocean Blue.
Cars. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
But like everything's sentient, right? Like you have a relationship with your apartment. So
I do. I haven't named her.
What I think you need to come up with a name. I mean, you don't have to do it right now, but you have to tell us.
Yeah. Okay. Ocean Blue is your house name?
Yeah, it came with it came with Ocean Blue. I mean, it was originally Mar Azul, which I think is much better, but it's Ocean Blue.
Mar Azul is Portuguese for ocean blue.
Yes. Yes. And
confirming for all of us.
Yes.
Non-Portuguese
who don't.
speakers.
Right.
Yeah.
And Azul is also blue in Spanish. So if you recognize that, you're like, whoa.
Thank you. And having taken French lessons very close to La Mer, the sea. So
there you go.
And
right.
I can't remember exactly blue in French, but it's around there.
Someone will know. I don't know.
Something similar to that.
We're so multilingual.
You really are. Actually, you are more than me, but yes.
I am working really hard at my Portuguese lessons. It's so hard. European Portuguese sounds like Russian, and they just keep their mouths closed and put all of their words together. And so I literally practice reading with my Portuguese tutor where she's just like, faster, no, more close, like put them together. And every part of me that went to acting school and took all of those speech classes and all of them, I'm like, no, you need to enunciate your words. Like,
slow down now.
Yes. Which I probably don't do enough on this podcast.
That's all right. I feel like that could get old. You know what? I watched one of the Best Picture nominees.
Ooh.
The Secret Agent.
Ooh.
Have you heard of it? It
I
takes
don't
place
know.
in Brazil, so it is Portuguese. But it was,
Ooh.
you know what? I just brought it up because I just saw it and the Oscars happened. It's an interesting film. I don't know if I necessarily. It's like nearly 3 hours long, but it is in
Oh,
Portuguese.
okay.
That's it.
Well, that might be good for me.
Yeah. I mean, the main actor was nominated and he won a Golden Globe.
Is he
Uh,
Brazilian?
he's Brazilian. Yeah.
Oh, well, that would be a good idea to
So,
watch.
and he does
Probably
a
then.
fantastic job. But anywho, that's it. There's not much else to, I mean, I don't know if it's kind of a crazy film. But anyhow, I
Yeah.
watched all of the nominated films. So
Oh,
don't worry about it.
I need to catch up and then we can chat.
Well, some of them aren't necessary to watch.
What
There's
was
fun.
that? Oh,
Did you see that?
No, I just saw you making. She did this like slow motion like thing with her hand towards her microphone, like she was doing sort of like witchcraft. She like paused and did it, and it was really distracting and confusing.
Sorry, I was like, do I go for it? Do I try to pick it up? And then I was like, well, that will just scratch them, whatever. So I just didn't. It disappeared.
Oh,
Anyhow,
well,
that's what it was.
Well, okay, Claire's gonna name her apartment. Thank God.
I got to name my apartment.
I mean, I always did it, but then recently, Luciana had a session with Erin Brown, who I could tell hosted. She's the woman who introduced us to the Schumann.
The Schumann resonance.
The Schumann resonance via TikTok.
Heartbeat. Yes.
The heartbeat.
Wait, she had a session with her.
I've had one too.
Yes.
She's interesting. Yes, she's cool.
Interesting. Okay.
But she was so funny. She was like, "What's going on with your house?" Because we've had a whole journey around interior design here. And
yes.
oh my God. Did I talk about this at all? Oh God.
I don't think
I think I just told you.
No.
I think we just told you. We initially, I mean, we came off a year of, I mean, I guess if I bring up Erin Brown. So last year, I don't think I really even touched on this, right? In 2 episodes ago, I might have, but
elaborate.
We're in Madrid with my parents for New Year's Eve.
Right.
And
okay.
I started getting really, really sick, but I just thought it was like normal because, it'd been the holidays and it was very cold there.
Yeah. Oh, hello. It's Claire. Your ears are not deceiving you. This is a different time in a different place. Okay, well, same place for me. But we continued to gab for 2 hours when we recorded. And so we thought, you know what? Let's split this up. So this is the end of today's session. So you'll have to tune in next week to hear all about what sounds like it's an interior design problem, but it's more about an energy, a health, a Schumann resonance, which is very fascinating. And then just a whole hell of a lot more of stuff we'd chat about. So bless you for listening. Can't wait to talk to you next week. Okay, bye.